Your attachment style. Let's now go over the traits of the different attachment styles and see if any of them apply to you. The anxious attachment style. If you're anxious, you love to be close to your romantic partner and have the capacity for great intimacy. You often fear, however, that your partner does not wish to be as close as you would like him or her to be. You tend to be very sensitive to small fluctuations in your partner's moods and actions. And although your senses are often accurate, you take your partner's behavior personally. You get upset easily and experience a lot of negative emotions within the relationship. As a result, you tend to act out and say things that you regret later. If the other person provides a lot of security and reassurance, you're able to shed much of your preoccupation and feel contented. Secure. If you're secure, being warm and loving comes naturally to you. You enjoy intimacy without being overly worried about your relationships. You take things in your stride and don't get upset easily. When you do, you effectively communicate your needs to your partner. You're also strong at reading your partner's emotional cues and responding to them. You share your successes and problems with him or her and are able to be there for the person as well. If you're avoidant, it's very important to you that you maintain your sense of independence and self sufficiency. You often prefer autonomy to intimate relationships. Even though you do want to be close to others, you feel uncomfortable with too much closeness and tend to keep your partner at arm's length. You don't spend much time worrying about your relationships or being rejected. You tend to not open up much to your partners, and they complain about you being emotionally distant. You're often on high alert for any kind of control on your territory by your partner. Devaluing him or her when things become too close is very typical of people with an avoidant attachment style. It's used as a way to create emotional distance. The two attachment dimensions. These two factors are particularly helpful in understanding your attachment style. One, your comfort with intimacy and closeness. That is the degree to which you try to avoid intimacy or are okay with it. Two, your anxiety about your partner's love and your preoccupation with the relationship. Research psychologist Brennan and her colleagues presented attachment styles in a graphic form. Your location on these two axes determines your attachment style and helps you understand how it relates to that of your partner. The horizontal axis represents a transition from low anxiety to high anxiety. The vertical axis presents a transition from low avoidance to high avoidance. The quadrants above the horizontal axis, that is the secure and anxious attachment styles, are low on avoidance. This means that when they encounter issues, they don't avoid their partners. They want resolution and are willing to work toward it. The quadrants below the horizontal axis, that is avoidant and anxious avoidant, are high on avoidance. The secure and avoidant fall on the left side of the vertical axis, which means that they are low on anxiety. During a difficult situation, they don't worry much about the relationship. The quadrants on the right of the vertical axis, anxious and anxious avoidant, are preoccupied with the status of their relationship. A word about the fourth quadrant, the anxious avoidant. If you are both comfortable with intimacy and very concerned about your partner's availability, you have a rare combination of anxious and avoidant attachment styles. It is also known as the disorganized attachment style. This is the third type of insecure attachment, besides the anxious and avoidant ones. Only a small percentage of the population falls into this category, and if you are one among them, you can benefit from the information provided on the anxious and avoidant attachment styles.